Hey everyone, it's your bio girl Ima Garcia here. So, today we're going to be talking about the immune system. And to help us with that, we're going to be using an anime called Cells at Work. So, why are we using an anime? It's because the characters in this anime are, represent the cellular counterparts. So, as I discuss further, you're going to understand what I mean. So, the episodes that we're going to focus on are episodes 1, 10, and 3. So why these episodes? Well, episode 1 and 10 focuses on the innate immune defense system, while episode 3 focuses on the adaptive immune defense system. So, starting off with episode 1. In episode 1, they're fighting against this villain called the pneumococcus, which is the main cause of pneumonia. So who are the cells that are called upon to fight against this virus? Number 1, we have white blood cell. White blood cells destroy foreign substances that enter the body from the outside, such as bacteria and viruses. Next, we have killer T cell. Killer T cells recognize and destroy foreign substances, such as virus-infected cells and cancer cells. Next, we have helper T cell. Helper T cells notify of invading foreign bacterial entities and serve as commanders who formulate appropriate countermeasures based on what kind of bacteria they are dealing with. Then we have regulatory T cell. Regulatory T cells prevent other T cells from spinning out of control and suppress excessive immune responses. Finally, we have dendritic cells that present bacteria that have invaded the body and fragments of virus-infected cells as antigens to notify other immune cell systems. So that's it for episode 1. In episode 10, they are fighting against this virus called the Staphylococcus aureus. I don't know if I pronounced that correctly. Once again, the cells that have entered the fray are white blood cell and the dendritic cell. However, there are new characters coming in, such as monocytes, which are mononuclear migratory cells which comprise 7% of all white blood cells, and like other immune cells, they take part in biological defense. Then we have macrophage. Macrophage catches and kills foreign substances like bacteria while determining antigens and information on immune responses. They also act as cleaners, removing dead cells and bacteria. And finally, we have these adorable little children called the platelets. Platelets are specialized blood cells that assemble whenever a blood vessel is damaged in order to block the opening and stop the bleeding. So those are the fighters for Staphylococcus aureus. Then finally, for episode 3, they are fighting against this virus. I'm sure we all know it. Influenza, commonly known as the flu. So, who are involved in this? Once again, we have white blood cell and macrophage. We have the helper T cell. We have the regulatory T cell. We have the killer T cell. We have the dendritic cell. And the newer ones are the naive T cells, which are immature T cells that have never encountered an antigen. However, when they are activated, they become an effector T cell. Really different, but these two are the same people. You wouldn't believe it. Finally, we have memory T cells. Memory T cells are equipped to attack again when an enemy reappears a second time. So that's it for all the characters and the cells and when they appear if a certain virus is coming out. So, why does it take so long for an immune system to defeat a virus? Well, The immune system takes its time because it needs to adapt to foreign bacteria and viruses that invade our body. So, because of how long it takes, it results in symptoms that we experience in our body, like dizziness, increased temperature, stuff like that. So, how do cytotoxic or killer B and T cells differ? B cells produce and secrete antibodies. So the main difference between T cells and B cells is that T cells can only recognize viral antigens outside the infected cells, while B cells can recognize the surface antigens of bacteria and viruses. So, if we were to trace the process of development of adaptive immunity, it would be something like this. Something like this. So, number 1, the antigen for the pathogen is taken up by an antigen-presenting cell, APC, such as a dendritic or a macrophage, through phagocytosis. The APC then travels to a part of the body that contains immature T and B cells, such as a lymph node. The antigen is processed by APC and bound to MHC class II receptors and MHC class I receptors on the cell brain of the APC. Then the antigen is presented to immature helper T cells and cytotoxic T cells, helping through binding the MHC to helper T or MHC1 cytotoxic T to T cell receptors. These T cell lymphocytes mature and proliferate. Helper T cells activate B cells, which proliferate and produce antibodies specific to the antigen, which cytotoxic T cells destroy pathogens that bear the antigen that was presented to them by the APCs. Finally, memory B and T cells are formed after the infection ends. I hope that I was able to help you guys out a little bit. If you have any questions, just leave it. So, bye.